Well, they are certainly back, and they lose in spectacular fashion to the Anaheim Ducks, 6-5. Welcome to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I want to start by saying thank you for staying up with us tonight. It's a late one, 8:38 start time, and you went through all of that only to see them piss away some points. At least one, definitely two. My goodness. Tom Gazzola, Ben Thomson with you. Matt Kassian will be joining us shortly. Of course, we want you to join the conversation. Text us your thoughts. Just lay it on us. Lay it on us. 780-218-9999. Nasty chat. I'm going to try to keep up with the nasty chat if you're watching on YouTube. Wish me luck. Wish Ben Thomson luck. Wish Cass luck. Hopefully one of the boys is watching and moderating and just keeping an eye on things. But holy fiddlestick, was that ever
Good word.
Oilers 25-26, Ben Thomson?
We are so back. We are so back. Oh, yes. I missed this. 3
Bring on
weeks.
the chaos.
3 weeks. We've been without this type of action. Man, did I ever miss it. Oh. But I thought everything was going to be fixed, though. I thought everything was going to be great. We threw a new coach behind the bench who's been here before. I thought everything was going to be great. Everything's fine now. Everything's figured out.
Yep.
Don't got to worry about it.
2 new goalies.
Everything's fine. Oh, boy. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to go about.
Go wherever you want, Ben.
A sloppy game. To start
Which we
at
predicted,
that.
yes.
Like you knew this was coming.
Yeah.
First game out of an Olympic break. Guys haven't been on the ice a whole lot. You expected some sloppy play.
Absolutely.
I thought the Ducks did a good job of playing their style and luring the Oilers into playing the same style. And we've talked about on the pregame show about how the Ducks remind Cass and myself of a lot of the 4 years ago Edmonton Oilers, before they were the true contenders, the team that was high flying,
up and down,
giving
all
up
over
chances
the place.
so that they can get their chance, right? And the Ducks did that. And Dostal didn't even play great tonight. Like usually we're used to seeing Dostal stone the Oilers. He didn't even play that great tonight. But my God, was Tristan Jarry brutal on the other end.
Yep.
Brutal. So much so, he got pulled in a 5-5 hockey game with 10 minutes left in the third period.
When he had faced more shots than Dostal. That one, I mean, you and I were, listen, Beckett Seneca is going to be an excellent hockey player. He's going to be a superstar in the National Hockey League. He's already like a rookie star. He's a rookie phenom right now. That was a great move, but Darnell Nurse is backing on top of Jarry. Yeah. And then he tucks it 5-hole. And then even that point shot from Zellweger, I looked at you, I'm like, did that go straight in?
No deflection. Like there's a little bit of a screen.
Still, I guess. Ross Johnston was an offensive dynamo for the Anaheim Ducks. Yeah. Their fighter tonight.
The Moore shot, their first goal of the game, needs to be saved. The Clore one wasn't bad. The Leo Carlson rebound isn't
not great. Listen, on top of Jarry
one was bad.
On top of Jarry not playing bad goals, there was some spotty D as well. Let's call it sloppy. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. First game back for all these guys, goalies, forwards, defense, whatever. Jarry blew 3 of those. Okay, absolutely. But a couple of the winner on Ingram. You got Wallman tied up with his guy, and Leon Draisaitl just sitting watching the puck, and you've got Cutter Gauthier backside post. Great pass to get through all that traffic in front. Mm-hmm. But man, some of the defensive coverage tonight was spotty.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing. It's been spotty all year. This is nothing new. And like you've talked about, Tom, Paul Coffey was never the X and O's guy when he was the coach.
Sounds like he will be now.
Where was that? Like it was. There's a screenshot where I see in our group chat of the Cutter Gauthier goal, wide open back door. No one's picking him up. The Leo Carlson goal, McDavid, Bouchard staring at the puck, allowing Leo Carlson to walk
Correct.
right in, tap in.
Yes.
Alex Killorn, front of the net on the power play. No one picks him up. This is that has been the number one thing the Oilers have struggled with all year. Has been that, and it was the same with Stuart Skinner. And now you're seeing with Tristan Jarry, which is why the trade I wasn't the biggest fan of, because it was mostly a lateral move. You could say Jarry is maybe a little bit better than Skinner, but it's not by a whole lot. Not enough, for my opinion, to change the trajectory of a team. Like, it needs to come from the defense.
I think we can just outright say he's not better than Skinner, what we've witnessed in the last few weeks when they were playing prior to the Olympic break.
I mean, I think it's safe to say I think Connor Ingram is their best goalie they've had all year.
Reed was right.
And like I was telling you, like, playoffs start tomorrow. It's Connor Ingram's game one starter. Not even a question right now. But again, though, like this team will not hit its peak. It will not reach the expectations that I think everyone has in the locker room there until they fix that defensive game. And I don't know if they have the guys to do it. Throw Paul Coffey back there. I don't know if that's going to fix it. Unlike a lot of people are saying, he's the savior.
Listen, he's got 23 games left to make it work.
Like, I don't know. And then there's the rumors that, like, maybe the Oilers are looking for a puck-moving defenseman.
Yes.
I sure hope that puck-moving defenseman can pick up the guy back door in his own end. I hope that's the case.
I don't want to rub salt in the wound, but Benny, you pointed out right away the flub backing into the zone by Darnell Nurse.
Darnell Nurse, brutal play.
Yeah, that started that whole
brutal puck management.
Compounding errors, as Matt Kassian would say.
And it's been the same story all year long. The defensive play has been nowhere near good enough, and so everyone wants to go point the finger at the goaltending, point the finger at the coach, point the finger at the management. I get the criticism when it's deserved there, and trust me, management has been great. Knoblock has been great all year, and the goaltending has been streaky at times. But the consistent thing this entire year has been the defensive lapses that they have caused. And
people told me I was nuts for saying that. I remember. I kept the receipts.
Yeah. And I don't know if that can be fixed at a deadline this year. I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if they're adding whatever defenseman they bring in, if they do bring one in, and it's like, it changed everything. I doubt it. Like, you got to expect more from the guys that are already there. And right now, they haven't been able to give it to you all season long.
780-218-9999. Bad Benny on fire. People liking it. He is a hot tamale tonight. Get into the text line and the nasty chat. Of course, GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Let's dive into the inbox. I'm listening to Benny pop off, loving it. The kid's got it. He knows what he's talking about, taking notes all game long. I'm looking at the nasty chat. I'm seeing people's comments. I am laughing. I'm reading Dusty's tweets. I am laughing. Reed Wilkins is sending me texts. Hilarious. Let's dive into the inbox. Troll says, Reed was right. Should have started Ingram. Jarry can't stop a beach ball. Let's go to a Teef. What up, Wheels? Wheels says, lost 4 in a row. Things need to be better. 1, goaltending. 2, defense. 3, not shooting enough. 4, time to panic, maybe. Signed, a Teef, who got kind of hard trivia with the boys on the morning show the other day. Mr. Dad texting in says, better call up Picker. Jarry is looking Jack Campbell bad. But hey, who would have thought a plan to get 2 goalies that have both been on waivers in the past year would go sideways? Signed, Mr. Dad. Let's go to this one. AJ texting in says, if Bowman had the guts to get the last goalie in the guaranteed McDavid era, why is he scared to ask Nurse to waive? Either way, you're making a decision. Jarry doesn't work and McDavid leaves in the next 2 years. Or get rid of Nurse in hopes of keeping McDavid happy afterwards with more money to use. Can't have Nurse at 9.25, Wallman at 7, and Ekholm at 4 on the left side, in my opinion. Yeah, Ekholm had a tough one. And he might have been their best left side defender tonight.
Yes.
He was falling. He was... a second behind. The puck was a brick at times on his stick. Made a nice play on the Hyman goal, though. I will give him that. So
I'll say this if I can be a little positive. I didn't think Evan Bouchard was horrible tonight. Like there's a couple gaffes, a couple good offensive plays. Typical Evan Bouchard night. I thought it wasn't a.
There were worse.
There were worse defensemen out there.
There were worse
than the guys he was playing with on the back end there. I thought the whole backhand struggled tonight. And that's been, to me, that's been the biggest.
And Benny, you said it too. Like the forwards didn't help.
No, forwards absolutely did not help. Couple guys that were good on the forward group tonight. You can tell there's one guy that was playing pro hockey over the break.
Played last night.
Played tonight as well. Played pretty damn well tonight. Not to foreshadow or leak who my player of the game is.
We're going to do it right now. Please take it away. May as well.
I'm doing it. I haven't even seen the 3 stars yet.
I have. Just go ahead. Don't worry about it. Don't even think about it.
And he's not on there. Yes. And we get to fit my rules. Perfect. Matt Savoy, man. 3-point night, goal, 2 assists. Incredible on the forecheck. PK was perfect tonight. That's not true.
PK was doing good for a bit.
It was doing good for a little bit. But when he was out there with PK, sticks and lanes, causing a ruckus, picking off passes, causing turnovers, and then added the points with that too. I mean, call me biased. I flat out don't care.
He was buzzing all night.
He was buzzing all night. Matt Savoy. You could clearly see that he was playing pro hockey. All break basically. So, I mean, I should probably read the liner. Hey, I forgot about that part.
Yeah, please do. And then get Cass in here because he's ready to go.
David Bunting has been a top producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find the right home or make the move from your current home. Community driven. He understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out on DamonBunting.com or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. That's your player of the game, Matt Savoy.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you. All right, let's get our game analyst Matt Kassian in here to break this one down. The Oilers fall 6-5 to the Anaheim Ducks. We knew it was going to be sloppy. We just didn't think it would end up like that. I don't know what we thought it would end up like. I figured it would be an Oilers win in a sloppy one, but Cass, what the hell was that, man?
Slop. I mean,
I'm
not surprised. I'm not surprised to score in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I did think Edmonton was going to come on top, but we said before it could very well turn into a high octane, high chance against type of game. And it's not even that it was like a million chances against. There's some average to sub-average goaltending to just bad goaltending on both sides, but just mistakes, sloppy mistakes. Edmonton primarily in front of their net, closing up lanes. Like you look at that last goal. I think you guys talked about some of the other goals already as well, where it's just like pucks just through, and it was ugly. Not the way you wanted to start, especially considering you had 2 2-goal leads and then a 1-goal lead in the third period. Like giving up those leads, that sucks that you weren't able to lock it down, especially with the focus on, hey, we got to be playing better team defense. It's not a way you want to go. And it's a challenge, right? You just made it that much harder to hold on to a playoff position.
Yes, that's putting it very eloquently. It is a challenge. Cass, I know you talked about the team defense, but like we saw the pull when Jarry let in that 5th goal. Benny outlined and popped off about the defensive structure, the gaffes, the lack of defending as a 5-man unit at times, which cost them. Which area of the Oilers game tonight was the most at fault, if you will?
I'm gonna go execution of defensive zone positioning.
Okay. 5-man unit or just the blue liners?
5-man unit, because the forwards contributed to that problem. And I think you had talked about McDavid on the 1, just kind of staring and waving at it. Again, if I'm looking at that,
I think Bouchard was in there too.
Goal, Yeah, if you look at that Gauthier goal, now I couldn't stand Wallman's position is not anywhere near where he's supposed to be on that. But I also didn't like Draisaitl's position. And, Savoy was fine. He was where he was supposed to be as the winger. Roslovic kind of a little wonky there on the D, but yeah, the forwards contributed to that too. I think on almost every single one, if I were to look at them here again, like you had Edmonton forwards that were involved in the play that just pulling them all up, just didn't do what they were supposed to do. So yeah, I think defensive zone positioning is still the biggest part of it. But I'm not just going to only single out the defense, although that's maybe we'll go 60-40 or 70-30 defense to forwards.
The pull that Jarry got, 24 shots, 5 goals. Dostal had 5 goals on 20 shots at that point. We saw Chris Knoblock animated tonight. I believe he told a ref to fluff off at one point on a non-call or a missed call, and then one that was called at the other end against the Oilers. I don't blame him. I think he's feeling the pressure big time, especially with Paul Coffey there. But that pull, Cass, when you saw that happen, what went through your mind?
In a 5-5 game, my thought was he's not messing around with this. Like, I guess that was the thought. He's not in the mood to wait on guys here. It kind of speaks to where they are from a team standpoint. And now from a standing standpoint where you're like, nope, there's no bonus leash given, right? There's no extra grace. There's no, hey, you've been with us for a while, and because you've been with us for a while, I'm going to trust you. It's what have you done for me lately? We got to go with that because we don't have time to sit and wait around. Also could be an element of it where you're trying to kind of zap your team and shock your team. But guys, that's 40 goals the last 8 games, going back to before the break. 40 goals in 8 games.
It's 5 a night.
Let me say that one more time. 40 goals against in 8 games. So yes, there are goaltending issues with that.
Correct.
Look at the goalies.
Yep.
There's the defending issues with that. And in the middle of the game, you can't all of a sudden healthy scratch to your defenseman. Now you can sit them, but then you're stuck playing other guys that aren't playing as well.
Don't think they have another defenseman on the roster as of right now, to be honest.
No, with Regula down, no, they don't.
Yeah.
So you're going to, what as a coach are your options? I mean, you can't sit 4 of them. Can't sit 5 of them and play with a forward on D. I mean, maybe you could. So you're going to pull the goalie or switch goalies and hope that does something to your team. Your options are limited as a coach, and for Knoblock at this point. So it's trying to send a message, and maybe it will, in that it was a 5-5 game, and maybe that was the point.
Text us 780-218-9999. Lots to go over. I want to hear from people. What was the Coffey effect in your opinion tonight? Let me know if you noticed anything different. We're going to get to Cass's thoughts, but first I'm going to just throw this from Brian Swain. As you know, Swainer digs up great stats, longtime journalist, covers the Elks, big time stats guy. Says I'm going to stack his 3 texts up that he sent me. Oilers 1-5 all time going into Olympic break. That was from February 4th. They entered the Olympic break on a 3-game losing streak in 98 and 2006. So Swainer follows up. That's a bit of a refresher. It says, first time since 1991 that the Oilers have lost a game in which they scored in the first 13 seconds. The Oilers are now 1-5, 5 straight losses, all time coming out of an Olympic break. 40 goals against in the last 8 games. You heard Cass alluding to it. That's tied for most in an 8-game span in Oilers history since March and April of 1995. It was during that span that Shane Corson was stripped of his captaincy and George Burnett was fired. That was also a 48-game season, if I recall correctly. 94, 95. Yeah. So that's bad. I know we talk about the accolades and the amazing things McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, Hyman that they've done, but this is team-wise bad. Real bad. Benny, Cass?
Yeah, that was embarrassing. That was just flat out like the whole, like you said, 13 seconds in. It's like, oh, maybe it's a new Oilers. I don't know. After a break, but no, they went right back to what they've been doing all season long. That's my thing. It's been all season long. I thought they would kind of get this out of their game at a certain point, and maybe they still will. I guess they have 20-something games to go. 23. But, I mean, right now it's not looking pretty. And I was talking about it on the Hangout yesterday, like these 4 games, now 3, are important for the management to look at what they have, even though they've had a long sample size already before the break. But I think they wanted to give it a go with Coffey on the bench. To me, it's still the same problems. And I don't know. And now I think there's the debate for, do you even spend assets to try to help this team, or is this team
what assets do they have to spend, Benny?
That's also a good point.
Touche.
Bo Akey, I don't even know how much what he's valued at. Are you willing to trade Ike Howard? I don't think so. You made a trade for him. Next year's first, the first after that, maybe, if you really want to go deep into the stash, but you don't have a lot of assets. You don't have a lot of cap space. So maybe you don't spend anything this year.
That would be unacceptable, of course, because you're in win now mode. They're in a jam. They're between a rock and a hard place.
Yep.
We know this. K-Town texting, and Josh from K-Town says, have you ever seen a longer leash than what Darnell Nurse has? Time and time again, he makes plays that would have anyone else in the press box. I don't know what you do with him, but you can't keep rolling him out there thinking you're going to get anything other than terrible puck moving and awful defensive play. Woof. That one's from Josh from K-Town. West End Rob Texan says, look on the bright side. We won't be spending much on playoff tickets this year. Just let me do this.
That's aggressive.
Depth of Nuge Defense texting in says 3 things. I liked rolling the lines and not depending on 29-97 exclusively. They had 2-goal leads, so a little bit of leeway there. Saw some confidence in the bottom 6 with the extra ice time. They did manufacture some chances, yes, and Frederick was involved. That was nice to see. Coffee effect is the D. We're off the leash and up the ice a lot more than before, but many egregious plays and puck management resulted in D-zone fire drills with nobody in position, costing them many goals. That text from Depth of Nuge Defense. Cass, what was the Coffee effect tonight from what you saw? Any change noticeable?
I mean, you're not like what? How much are you going to change in like 3 practices or 4 practices?
My question is somewhat facetious.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
Nothing.
Yeah,
nothing. And that's not that it won't, but nothing yet. Nothing yet. Not that I expected it to.
Jimmy O.
I'll tell you.
Oh, you got something?
Here's something. I got something.
Go for it. Take it.
There was one more guy on the bench.
Ooh. Whoa.
Nailed it.
Winner.
Nailed it.
An extra voice, you could say.
Okay. Let's take a deep breath here. I know everyone's mad. They pissed away 2-goal leads tonight. Lose to the Ducks are good, okay? Mm-hmm. So if I haven't seen it yet, but I'm assuming there's people out there being like, oh my God, you lost to the Anaheim Ducks. Ducks have 31 wins now. That's more than Edmonton. They're a feisty, plucky team. We saw it, and they were without Granlund and a couple of other guys that they need. Vetrano being one of them. What do you have, a hip issue? No, that was Mrazek.
That's Mrazek.
Shoulder for Vetrano. That's right. Yeah. Cass, what if they bounce back with a win tomorrow against LA?
Well, that helps. Sure. We would probably all feel better. And it makes it like Can I ask you a question on that instead of answering? Can I just ask you a question? Does tomorrow become a must-win now that they lost again to Anaheim?
There's not a lot of runway left in this season. That's the harsh reality. I know we said must win like first 10 games of the year, first 20 games.
Yeah, that's usually the talk.
Now is must win. You're a week from the trade deadline. You are a month and a bit away from the end of the season, and you're sliding. Yes, 4-point game tomorrow night against a team you beat 4 times in a row in the playoffs. You need to win. Sorry, I'm losing my.
I'm with you. These two teams the teams that are going to play on this trip are chasing you. Kings lost tonight, which I don't know if you're an Oilers fan if you like that or if you I don't know. It's Vegas. I got the 2 points, and so they're just extending their lead now. Depends if you want to go chase first place in the division or if you're just looking at playoffs. Which performance tonight you might be just looking at playoffs. So I mean, both teams are winless after the break going into tomorrow's game. But the Kings got this new juju with Panarin there. I understand they lost Fiala, but you can't take the Kings lightly tomorrow, and you can't take pretty much any team lightly for the rest of the year because it's like Tom was saying, it's win it's must win hockey you got to play.
This is must win.
This is must win.
Legit must win.
Yeah,
you can't let this slide continue. You got to put an end to it.
I don't know if they can. Seriously. I don't know if they can. We've watched 59 games of this team.
Mm-hmm.
What do we know? They don't sustain success. They're spotty and their wins are flawed. And I hate knocking wins. But they've had to do it in desperation so many times this year.
Yeah,
that's not a good sign, you guys.
There hasn't been a whole lot of dominant wins.
Right. There's been a few.
Yeah. There's a stretch there where they were doing it.
And they've gotten absolutely curb stomped in a bunch of games by good teams. Those are troubling signs, in my opinion, at least. And I know it's only the first game back, but they pissed that away in glorious fashion, guys.
Yep.
It's concerning going into tomorrow. For the sake of the fan base, I hope they stomp all over the LA Kings. Do I feel like that is going to happen? Unlikely. But geez, you guys, like, that is an epic self-shot to the pills tonight, in my opinion. And kudos to the Ducks for being thorny. Cass, final thoughts going into tomorrow from you. It's late.
Oh, yeah. Man, tomorrow's a day, back-to-back, coming out of a break. You got guys that are going to be even more tired. I didn't mind the minute management tonight, like with McDavid and Draisaitl. They didn't overuse them, which I think was a good thing. That was a positive. But it's going to be even more important tomorrow. Must-win's a must-win. Biggest game of the season now, as they all probably will be down the stretch here. But even more so, just the 4-point weight carrying against another team that's right there. Trying to make playoffs. Like, this is that I don't know what the answer is for how you batten down the hatches defensively, but I know it's not just standing there with 4 guys kind of waving a stick at a puck in the air. So it's find a way to defend in front of your net, not let those backdoor garbage plays through. And when you have a lead, guys, play with the lead. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a battle. It was fun tonight. I'll say that for all the moaning and groaning. It was still a fun one.
Yes.
We were right on that note. And I think it'll be another fun one tomorrow. It'll be very different. I don't think nearly as much pace and opportunity that is going to be given up by the LA Kings than the Anaheim Ducks. But hey, you got to go win a hockey game. And you got to do it probably without Matthias Janmark, which we didn't talk about. But
right. Yeah, and so if he goes on the shelf, listen, he's had a bum shoulder for a while, okay? He's had a bum shoulder for a while. I don't know if that's what it is, but he hasn't had a great year. They're gonna if they put him on IR, they got to call someone up. I'm assuming it'd be Szymanski. Then we'll see where. I think a lot of people would like that. I'm okay with that, but yeah, Cass. I guess we'll see tomorrow, man. Like, my goodness.
Yep.
Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment in this market for sure. Okay, big boy, get some rest. We'll see you tomorrow. All right.
Hey, fellas, sounds good.
All right, there's Matt Kassian, our game analyst, helping us break down the Oilers' 6-5 loss to the Anaheim Ducks. You can text us 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat. Jimmy O says Cates should bring back Kevin Lowe. He knows a thing or two about winning sometime or something this team currently doesn't know. Yeah, Jimmy O, I appreciate that text. That's a good one.
Good callback.
Derek from Spokane says Jarry in a 2027 first round pick for Skinner, and we retain Jarry's salary. Who says no?
The NHL? Pretty sure you can't
take back
someone on a retained salary from.
I think there's something around that.
Pittsburgh wouldn't be able to do it. Take Jarry back.
Dusty had a funny tweet about. So who do the Oilers trade Jarry and Ekholm for in a lateral trade?
Yeah. It's going to be Ekholm and Jarry needed in the trade now to move laterally in that, which funny.
Andrew texts in, says, I am so mad at the poor defensive play of the Oilers. The goaltending is terrible. They should not have gotten rid of Skinner. I lost my bet tonight. I will send my bill to Jarry. and there was a loud chorus of people who wanted Skinner out, thought he was the problem. They would throw Calvin Pickard in the mix with him. They got their wish. 2 new goalies. Ingram's been the best one out of all 4 goalies that have played this year. He'll play tomorrow, guaranteed. If they started Jarry, they're not going to start Jarry. I'm just not even going to end that sentence. We'll see how it goes. And Reed's talked about it for a long time now. He thinks Ingram is the guy they need to ride. And maybe that is a saving grace for the team.
Yeah.
Maybe that is. The poor defensive play, and I didn't want to drag it on with Cass. He's got to be up early tomorrow. And I've kind of said this lately. They just don't have the personnel. I said it in a nice way 20 games ago. You got 3 young guys when Regula was up with the team. It's hard, man. It's hard to develop as a defenseman in the NHL.
It takes time, but I don't even look at the young defensemen because
good point.
You look at the top 4. Matthias Ekholm in his prime was a fantastic defenseman, offensive zone and defensive zone. He's not in his prime anymore. That being said, I still think he has capabilities of being a solid defenseman, a solid top 4 defenseman that could be paired with Evan Bouchard. I still think he has those capabilities, but it's been a little bit tricky this year with him. And then you look at Evan Bouchard, Darnell Nurse, and Jake Wallman, all to varying degrees of offensive upside and defensive downside. They're all risky defensemen. They all like jumping in the rush. They all tend to have problems picking up guys in their own end. And so when you build your top 4, and you have an aging defenseman that's not as great in his own end anymore, and 3 risky defensemen that are very boom and bust, you're left with nights like these or games we've seen earlier in the year where it's just like, how can you possibly think that was the right play in that situation? And so that's why I look at this deadline and I go, I'm sorry, Tyler Myers does not stop that. Connor Murphy isn't going to change the decor.
Doesn't make it better, though. That's all I'm saying.
No.
It's a step in the right direction.
It's a step in the right direction.
Okay.
It would help.
Yeah.
But doesn't matter when he's not on the ice anymore. And it's Darnell Nurse and Jake Wallman out there trying to defend. God, hypothetically, Oilers make the conference final. You're going to throw Darnell Nurse and Jake Wallman up against the raging Colorado Avalanche out in the Central, or the Minnesota Wild, or the Dallas Stars, whatever team. Those teams have depth, and to trust those guys in a playoff situation, let alone Stastny or Emberson, they're in trouble.
Emerson he took a good penalty to save that goal.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He did. And I think he's developed as a defenseman. I think Stastny is as the shiny toy effect has worn off on him a little bit, but I still think if he is the Oilers' sixth defenseman in a playoff run, I don't think there's a lot of people that are mad about it. Like it's kind of like, okay, you could shelter him a little bit. You could get by. It's not fantastic. Yeah. It's not fantastic.
Depending on the matchup, I think.
Yeah, depending on the matchup.
Good point.
But if you shelter him, you'd be all right. To me, I can't imagine a playoff series of Ty Emberson and Spencer Stastny as your bottom pair. You need one more guy at least. But that being said, I still don't think that drastically changes the decor unless you're bringing in a stud defensively, which you don't have the assets or cap space for.
That is true. We're going to go inside the Oilers locker room right away. I saw Jarry. You had it queued up. Who else? We
have Jarry, Sav, and Knoblock.
Okay, we're going to go to Jarry right away here. JW in the nasty chat says, poll question, is the sky falling? And you know what? I like that text in the nasty chat because, we're going off on them. We're riding the emotions of what was a back and forth game, sloppy game as we anticipated. And if they do win tomorrow against LA, that's a huge 4-point swing. And I thought to myself, I even asked, I'm like, are we making too big of a deal out of this? Does it completely redeem them tomorrow if they win? And I go in my mind, no, it doesn't, because they had two 2-goal leads in this game. This is a bad loss.
Especially with how you went into the break.
Yes.
Especially how you went in the break.
Yes.
You went into the break with 3 brutal losses.
Does it calm some of the waters if they win tomorrow? In regulation, especially? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
for sure,
this loss is a bad loss. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yep.
It's a bad loss when you have 2-goal leads and you piss them away.
I don't think the sky's falling. I understand I'm fired up.
But I know what JW is saying. 100%. That's why I brought it up.
I think there's a reason why for everyone to be frustrated.
Yes, absolutely.
I think there's absolutely a warranted reaction for this. I still think they'll make playoffs. I don't think a team below them is. There's gonna be that many teams that pass them. Like, could they slip into the wild card spot? Absolutely. And if they get thrown in the Central Division for their playoff
it's a short postseason for them.
Yeah, it will be.
Right?
Yeah. Like, if they somehow make it out of a first round, have fun on the second one. Like, if you make it through that, you'll be beat up for the conference. I just don't see it. So, yeah, I understand, as you see, why I'm frustrated. Usually I'm cool and calm, collected after losses.
And we haven't done this in 3 weeks.
That is true.
Pent up. Marcus, the Caps fan. I'm going to read a couple texts, then we're going to get into Tristan Jarry here. Says, anybody want to cover the wide open guy late in a tie game? Never changes. Wallman is getting a raise next season for 7 years and already can't be trusted, Benny. I agree. Marcus, the Caps fan. Let's go to Conroe, Texas. Conroe, Texas. So tired of seeing Frederic Mangiapane, Janmark, and Henrique poop the bed every night with better talent in Bakersfield. Wallman and Nurse, horrible as well, and nobody covers the open man. Not a good start. And then Conroe, Texas adds, thing with this defensive group has no upside except Bouchard. They're just not having a down period. The reality is they're just not good enough. Thank you for the text, Conroe, Texas. Ontario Momes getting in there, says TG Jarry. Woof. Nurse gave that puck away for no reason. Agreed, Ontario Momes. The fact the Oilers have to spend assets to find someone to fix the second pair is such a cap damper. The worst part is he gets worse in the playoffs. I don't know if you can win with the combination of his play and cap. That's in reference to Darnell Nurse, I believe. And then Ontario Momes adds, this summer you have to do anything to move Nurse. It doesn't matter who they pick up. Nurse is a chaos agent. Anyone will get worse with him. Yeah, he had a good regular season last year. Adequate. And it dropped off in the postseason. And this year has just been all over the map, mostly bad. Combine Crew Garen. Hello, Combine Crew Garen. Says, Tommy, we're checking in from Mexico. It's kicking everyone's ass. Great time so far with all the nasties. Miss you, boys. Garen from the Combine Crew. Shout out to everybody. You guys are staying up late. What is it? 1 o'clock? Almost 2 over there? Crazy.
That's nothing.
Mix in a water. They'll be fine. All right, let's go inside the locker room. Who are we hearing from?
This is Tristan Jarry from the locker room tonight.
I think if I can maybe find one of those through the screens, or maybe I'm able to handle a rebound here or there, maybe the puck doesn't go in the middle, and I'm able to handle that a little bit better.
Was there a part of tonight where it felt like you guys had 3 weeks away from gameplay?
Yeah, I thought we had a good start. I thought we had some traction. I thought we played pretty well. We were going to the net and we were doing a lot of good things. So we just ended up on the wrong side.
When your team gets the lead, that's, as a goalie, you want to keep the lead, obviously. It's 2-0. They get one on you that I don't know if you love that one or not, but it's kind of started for me at that point. You did make some pretty good saves, and then it maybe from that point on, it looked like you were not as comfortable. Is that fair?
It's tough. The game's kind of going back and forth, but obviously if I make a extra save here or there, the game could be different. So I think just being better from that and just keep working.
When you have a team like this that's really focused on its goals against, right? You guys have been giving up 5 a night. It's not on the goaltending, but you can't win doing that. Is there particular pressure in the netminder to make sure that nothing goes in that can't go in? Is it more pressure here because the team's working on something?
I think every game you want to try and keep the puck out of your net. That's just a goal for any team and anyone, and especially the goaltender. I think if I can do a better job just keeping the puck out, I think we have a better chance.
Are you looking for some traction here?
Always, but I think that comes from work, and I think just working hard in practice and doing the things that you need to in the small details, and I think it creates traction.
Tristan, what can you maybe pull upon from earlier in your career in these moments of adversity that you can apply here?
Yeah, always. I think every player has a little bit of ups and downs, and I think just being able to lean on those and follow those. But like I said, hard work usually gets you out of a lot of things.
All right, Tristan Jarry, that's a good line at the end there. I think a lot of people would agree, probably has a lot of hard work to do.
He does.
To get some traction, as he was alluding to. Tonight, 5 goals on 25 shots, 800 save percentage. Ingram goes in, faces 4 shots, makes 3 saves. You can't blame Ingram for the Gauthier game winner.
No.
Jarry alluded to, there's some screens. He alluded to his rebound control where he kicked a couple out to the middle. Yeah. And some people didn't like the tone and this and that of what he's saying. He's just trying to give you something.
I think that's just how he talks in every interview.
That's kind of how
that's how he talks.
That's how he is.
Yeah. I
So.
don't have really a problem with his tone or anything.
No.
I thought his
The messaging
I
was
thought the messaging was pretty solid. Like,
Yeah.
He flat out told you he probably needs to be better with his rebound control and needs to see a puck through a screen.
Yep.
Like that's all stuff I think all of us are complaining about. What do you want? What do you want him to say?
He pointed it out. I mean, the language that he used and the tone that he used might not be the one that you prefer after a loss, but he had the right message there. Bad night for Tristan Jarry. The curious pull, although I don't think anybody's blaming Chris Knoblock.
No.
But just the timing of it, and you want to have faith in your guy or instill confidence. Not tonight.
What does that? I wonder what kind of message that sends to Stan. You know what I mean?
Well,
I think
that's the first thing I thought when I saw the pull by Knoblock, right?
Yep.
And again, I'll point it out. I thought Knoblock looked more animated on the bench tonight than ever.
Yeah.
Maybe in the playoffs he was more animated.
Yeah.
He was giving the ref the F-bomb a few times, rightly so. I think he's feeling the heat. He's got an awkward situation to deal with. He's got a team that's slipping with a 4-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get a damn save. Can't trust his defense. Can't trust his forwards to help the defense. I think he's feeling the heat.
Well, he definitely could be, and I definitely see it. I was saying on pregame, I'd be shocked if he gets fired this year. Shocked. To me, I'd be shocked if it happens. Off season, maybe. I just think it's too late in the season to see a guy you just extended.
But Benny, this is why I've been saying this since they made the announcement last week.
Yeah.
This puts a weird wedge into everything.
Yeah. It does.
I'll just leave it at that for now. We'll see how this goes. They could win tomorrow. They kick the crap out of the Kings potentially. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could.
Who knows?
And everybody's like, oh, this is great. This is great. So take a deep breath. Tonight's loss, bad loss. Any way you slice it.
But do you like for Stam?
Don't forget Jeff.
Oh yes,
They're a tandem.
For the tandem. Like I wonder how they feel knowing that they made that trade back in, what was that, November? December?
Early December.
That they made this trade that they thought was like, okay, we're getting our guy for not even this year, just next 2, I believe, after this. This is our guy. And we're talking just a couple of months later about how Chris Knoblock is pulling him in a tied hockey game with like 10 minutes left to go in the third period. Like that to me is an alarming, oh my God, the coach doesn't even trust him. And obviously, Jarry, rough night tonight, and I honestly, I probably would have done the same thing if I was Knoblock. Because at that point,
you're feeling it, man.
Oilers kept getting the lead. They just needed the final save. They just needed that one save to get them the win. And he trusted Ingram more than Jarry, and I don't blame him. So it was interesting call, ballsy, but didn't
pay off.
Didn't pay off, but that wasn't to Ingram's fault.
No. Runner says, how many Oilers legends can they fit on a bench? Asking for Daryl. Nice text. I'll give you text of the night if we had a prize for that. Gray-haired teacher texting and says, do you think Nurse will ever be put in a press box? Not long-term, but just hey, we can't afford your turnovers. Gray-haired teacher, that's like probably a rational idea, but they don't even have 7 defensemen on the roster right now, and they have no cap space. But yeah, I mean, it took a while for them to do it to Frederick. Obviously, Mangiapane, different story. Nurse has been one of their go-to defensemen, quote unquote, for a long time now.
However long.
That would be a big wake the F up.
Oh, absolutely.
But they can't do that right. They just literally can't do that right now.
I appreciate he highlights that for the short. This is not a long-term thing because you can't sit Darnell Nurse and replace him with Alex Regula. I promise you. I think all of us would be talking on this post-game show about there's maybe just as many, maybe if not more, mistakes that Regula makes compared to Nurse. Nurse has a huge target on his back because of the cap space and rightfully or cap hit and rightfully so. But yeah, try to give him a reset. But I thought this break would have done it.
All right, let's go and hear from. I want to hear what Chris Knoblock has to say. I want to hear his thoughts, and I want to see his demeanor. He's probably calm. He looks pretty calm, but I thought he looked animated on the bench a few times there tonight. Here he is, Chris Knoblock.
That game, what you saw that you kind of were impressed by your team? As usual, I thought we had a lot of good scoring chances, and throughout the lineup, I think Lazar's line was good, Rico's line had some good chances, and of course our top 2 lines, as usual, had some nice chances. I thought there were some really good performances from guys. Savoy was one of them. That's one of his strongest games this year. Penalty kill, he scores on the power play, 5-on-5, and creating a lot of chances. So there was a lot of good performances by guys.
Did your goaltending, was that the difference in the game?
Yeah, obviously I wasn't happy with the goaltending. The goals that we gave up, especially in the third period, I didn't like those. And definitely there was other mistakes there, but part of it is you need better goaltending, and tonight wasn't one of his best games.
Yeah, your team has been giving up a lot of goals, and I know it's a huge project around here to get the goals against down and put your defensive game together. It didn't seem like you gave up too much tonight, but it's hard to build a footing, I guess, when stuff's going in that are not grade A's. Is that fair?
Yeah, not everything has to be a grade A to go in. That's, sometimes that happens. We score on goals that aren't grade A's, but how many of those are going in, and that's something that you trying to minimize.
What have you learned about Tristan so far through knowing him that tells you that he can, rebound the way that he needs to?
Well, he's been in the league for as long as he has. Obviously, there's been times where he hasn't played at his best, but for him to have a career that he has and been in the league as long as he can, obviously he's been able to regroup and play well.
All right, there's Chris Knoblock. Pretty composed there, but flat out said it. Goaltending needs to be better. 40 goals in the last 8 games. Jarry, 5 goals on 25 shots. Pulls them in the third period after they give up another 2-goal lead in the game.
That stat doesn't feel real.
It's real. It's not spectacular. It's a Seinfeld reference.
Yeah, I mean, this is... Yeah, I mean, I liked how he flat out just addressed. Yeah, need better
Didn't like
goaltending.
it. I don't think anyone did.
He showed it in his actions. You don't play your goalie like that if you're not happy with, or you don't pull your goalie if you're happy with your performance with him. But I also can't act like this has been coming for Jarry. This hasn't been a good stretch for him.
Yeah.
Again, the shiny new toy is always going to give him a little bit of a leash to start, and I think he earned the leash a little bit. He played pretty solid when he came in, but then I think honestly, it's been since the injury. Ever since he's returned from that injury, it hasn't looked great.
No,
so
that's fair.
I don't know if he's still dealing with it. I doubt it.
I mean, he's had a lot of time off if you think about it.
Yeah, it should be recovered.
Hopefully. Banksy says the Oilers are in big ducking trouble here, boys. Facepalm emoji. I love how I can read off emojis. Barry the Cheater with a solid text says the Oilers are 100% in a jam, but they created it by poor decisions and bad gambles. Barry, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And we're seeing the fruits of those bad gambles. Spoil. Not blossom. Spoil. It's disappointing.
Yep. I mean, if they don't make those signings they did in the offseason, they have more wiggle room to go swing big to see if you can fix some stuff. Said they're tied up with 8 years with Frederick, who again, I mean, I don't know, he had a couple nice passes.
He actually
today.
did make a couple nice plays.
He actually was kind of noticeable.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Like when Knoblock said, Oilers offensively tonight weren't that bad. Like they have looks, they created, but at the same time, it's the Anaheim Ducks that they give up chances to get chances. It's kind of the bargain they make, and so Oilers got those chances and they scored on a decent amount of them. Pretty good.
They got 5.
I was gonna say they scored 5 on 27 shots. That's pretty damn good, and they weren't. It's not like they got overly lucky with any of them. Like they were all very nice plays and took a lot of skill to get them done. But it doesn't matter when you give up 6. Doesn't matter. There should be no situation where you're scoring 5 goals in a game and you're losing. But they did tonight.
Found a way. They found a way. 4-game losing streak right now after a 3-game winning streak, their first of the season. All for naught. Let's go to Nolan from St. Albert texting in via the inbox 780-218-9999. Let's go. I'm apathetic at this point. Haven't had lofty Stanley Cup hopes for this roster for quite some time. Maybe the deadline can change some things, but I have massively recalibrated my expectations at this point. No doom and gloom, just being real. That's from Nolan in St. Albert. Yeah, that sucks. It's not a good feeling. Duck Dad, I think Tom is scared about the Draisaitl discussion due to the Insta issue. What Insta issue? When he said LOL? Yeah, you guys are making a way bigger thing out of that than anybody. What is the Draisaitl discussion that you want to get to, Duck Dad? I will happily discuss it with you.
Some people say in the chat that he did not look great tonight.
He didn't.
He didn't look great, but he made a couple ridiculous passes.
He made a couple of good plays. I don't think he wasn't great on the game-winning goal.
No.
You guys got to get over this LOL Instagram thing. It's the stupidest thing in the world. He was a baby. I said some truth, and people made a big deal of it. You know what it's like? It's like our start bench cut, Price, Waugh, Brodeur, and just because Carey Price commented on it.
Oh, I
love you, Carey. I would not cut you. Oh my God. Oh, these guys don't know. The best guy was this guy that's like, well, you guys clearly don't know goaltending. This is why Carey Price was the best goaltender in the world, and this, and this. You guys have no idea what you're talking about. One of the guys that you're saying doesn't know what they're talking about played with Carey Price in the NHL and in junior. No, this Instagram stuff, Duck Dad, come on, buddy. It's nothing. I've seen him. It's fine. We don't care.
And that guy, I would call pretty biased towards the players he plays with, and he still didn't start him.
Belsey?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You cut him.
He did, he benched him.
Oh, that's right.
He benched him. You and I cut him.
That's right.
Yeah, but
Carey
said it himself.
I didn't buy a Halak jersey in 2010.
If you guys want to have a good laugh, you can go look at his replies. Everyone fishing for Carey Price
acknowledgement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, no, it's not. Honestly, you guys are making a big deal out of it. Neither one of us cares about it, so no big deal. Stop. Just basta, as my nonna would say. All right, let's get to the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game. This one's so easy, and I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to put salt in the wound, but we have to. Of course, Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977. It's got to be the game-winning goal. Awful play by Nurse, flubbing it as he's backtracking into his own zone with control. Probably want to see a nice D-to-D rezone, regroup, get it going back up the ice, but he flubs it. Ducks jump all over him, and then they work it around, and then Leo Carlsson threads a needle. They leave Cutter Gauthier wide open, backdoor. There's a backdoor tap, and he had to manage it, kick it up to his stick and bury it for his 26th of the year. Chris Kreider, the secondary assist at 18:46. That is your Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game. Benny giggling away. What's going on?
Such a creative way to say the Oilers are going to suck or be bad in the playoffs. James Schultz. Mama Stanley shouldn't be buying any silver paint this year. That's funny.
Oh, boy. You know what? I love the playoffs, and I love the excitement around here.
Too.
She's fantastic. You get to see the true, passion.
Yeah. Mama Stanley.
That's a funny text. That's a good text. I like Mama Stanley.
I do too.
She's probably my favorite.
A nice lady.
Yeah.
Just wants to see the
Good
Oilers
heart.
do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can save some money on the silver paint.
I bet this is just me. She would rather spend the money on the silver paint, root for the team, rather than have a year to regroup, save some money, not get silver paint.
I
right?
agree. I would imagine she'll do whatever it takes. The Oilers to win that cup.
Yeah, she's all in.
That's what you want from a fan.
This text says that game was more awkward than puberty. Good text. Pretty good.
Yep.
Another one says, I don't like Jarry. His post-game interviews rub me the wrong way. It feels like he hasn't bought in. He doesn't give a crap. Feels like a non-carrying cancer in the room. I understand, that view. Talking to some friends that had been around when Jarry was an Oil King, he has a kind of a different cadence to how he speaks and demeanor. But he does care. He's dialed in. He's a smart guy. He's a good team guy. Interviews aren't his most comfortable thing to do. So I'm just passing along what I've been told. This one says, do they make a big move to dump money, Nurse and top forward? That would be, in my opinion, if they did that, that's full-on desperation. I think they're better. Like the better way to go about it is to, as they say, keep your powder dry and regroup for next season. And I know that idea and that sell is so hard and counterproductive in this time.
How can you not go for it when you have Connor McDavid in his prime?
Exactly. But the reality is, and we've seen it through 59 games, I apologize for saying this if people don't want to believe it, they don't have good enough players. That roster is not good enough. And bringing in one or two guys with the limited cap space that they have or can create, hopefully spurs them on. And McDavid and Draisaitl, Hyman and Nugent-Hopkins, maybe Podkolzin, Kapanen when he gets back, and Bouchard, who's on fire, thrust them into a postseason spot, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
I mean, like, if Nurse was willing to waive, I'd explore it, but I don't think that's happening.
I'm glad you brought that up again because we talked about it while we were listening to interviews. As a reminder, Darnell was asked in the offseason if he'd be willing to waive, and he said no by Stan Bowman.
Yeah.
Right?
So, it won't happen. Why would he leave? That cap hit, there's not a doubt. I think everyone can agree. It holds this team back. It does. He's $99.25 million defenseman. And with a team that's already really, really tight to the cap, they could use that money. But there's a funny thing called the no-move clause that he's got, and I don't think he's willing to waive it. And even if he was, you'd have to pay a fortune to get that off your books, which, yeah, are you willing to do that, even?
James says they can move Wallman before he has his NTC kick in.
Oh, yeah.
I'd entertain that. Just me.
Yep. I wonder what his value is. Would a team?
I don't know.
Would a team want him at that money?
7 by 7. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I wonder.
Maybe they look at the upside. Jay Sterner says, quoting Tambellini, Tom. Seriously, did I? Is it the powder dry thing?
I don't know. Apparently, he does have a no trade, by the way. Wallman.
Wallman does. Okay.
Well,
has it kicked in?
I don't think it's kicked.
That's what James is alluding to.
Let me check, because he'd be on the final.
Oh, he does have a no movement.
Yeah,
never mind. Okay, sorry guys.
Yeah.
Never mind. All right. Cam says, if the Oilers miss the playoffs, who loses their job? A few people, I would think.
Yes.
Nolan from St. Albert chiming in says, I couldn't disagree more with that Jarry text. I have no idea how anyone could conclude that Jarry's a locker room cancer based off his post-game interviews. Sounds like that texter wants to direct his anger in literally any direction possible. Yeah. I'll just reiterate. Like, if you don't like how he speaks, the tone, the cadence, again, some buddies from the Oil Kings said that's just kind of how he is. He's not comfortable on camera in front of microphones, and he's trying to provide a decent answer, fulfill his duty. And let's not kid ourselves. We had people complaining about the way Stu Skinner answered questions. We had people complaining about the way that Chris Knoblock answers questions so calm, cool, and composed. Like, they're not always going to blow up like Draisaitl did against Calgary. You know?
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, is what they say post-game. They might gloss over things. Probably a little bit calculated. And then they might feel a different way behind the scenes and give people a piece of their mind. But they don't spill it out into the open all the time.
Which is probably smart.
It's generally smart.
Yeah.
I would say so. Glue guys do that. Like Jay Milne.
Not really the glue guy recently with his...
Oh, he's been feisty. It's in the air.
Doesn't like my dominance. Whatever.
That's for you guys to work through. All right. Final thoughts from you, Benny, as we get wrapped up here. It is already Thursday, so...
I hope 24 hours from now, we're talking at a different tone.
That'd be good.
That'd be nice. Disappointing. Extremely disappointing game to have right after a break where you're hoping that it was a reset for a team, but you can kind of make up for it tomorrow against the LA Kings. I mean, we'll see. This is, again, a must-win. You're playing a team that's chasing you in the standings. Take it, like, you got to beat teams that are below you, man, to secure your playoff spot. So I'm looking pretty heavily at the Oilers to win this one tomorrow, but we'll see.
It's a bad loss tonight, a sloppy game as expected, and we'll see if they can redeem themselves a little bit tomorrow against the LA Kings, who also lost tonight to the Vegas Golden Knights 6-4. So the Oilers looking for a win, their first of the month of February, for crying out loud. We'll see if they can get it done against LA. We'll be back tomorrow with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, 7:30 p.m. right here on EST. Myself, Matt Kassian, Benny Thompson will be joined by Dennis Bernstein from the fourth period, and then we'll all return back here following the Oilers and Kings for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show, where hopefully we're talking about something much more positive than a 6-5 loss in regulation time where they blew 2 2-goal leads to the Anaheim Ducks. That's going to do it for this fine program. Thank you to everybody who stayed up tonight, whether you listened on iHeart, TuneIn, of course, EdmontonSportsTalk.com's audio player, or watched us on YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Get some rest. Mix in the water if you had a few cervezas down in Mexico, you guys. And for Benny and Cass, I'm Tommy saying see you tomorrow. Joaquin, Hernan, and YouTube Trev will continue the discussion on The Nielsen Show at 6 a.m. Good night, everyone.